So when the new Harry Potter wave was announced, I was actually quite happy about these books. I thought they looked quite cool, and I thought they were a very interesting concept, and I actually have a video talking about them, and I give my initial thoughts on them in that video. But now that I actually own one, is it worth the money? First of all, just to give a little bit of background of what I said in that previous video, I was basically saying that this isn't the first time LEGO have done the whole book concept, you know, where it folds out into a set, as they've done it for the Disney line, and if I'm honest, these books are a lot better than that line. And the reason I say that these ones are better is just mainly because these Harry Potter ones have so many more pieces, and obviously minifigures. There is a lot more going on with these Harry Potter books than those Disney ones. They are also one of the major problems I have with this set, but more on that later. Starting off with the things I like about these books, I like the fact that it folds out into a somewhat decent representation of a classroom. There's no doubt in my mind that when you look at this, you kind of go, oh yeah, that's a Harry Potter castle-esque look. And that partnered with some of the minifigures in this set really do sell this set as quite a decent looking set. I really like the inclusion of some of the accessories that we got with this, like the little rat and the cup and the goblet. It matches that first scene that we see in the Chamber of Secrets. And if I'm honest, I was really excited for these sets because I'm such a sucker for that first and second film. And with the third being my favorite, and granted we've had a few sets from that third film, it's nice to see LEGO going back and doing some iconic scenes from the first and second film, as I really believe LEGO do have potential to make a lot more sets from these types of films, and I'd like to see a lot more locations from these two films, and could do sets based on things like the Mirror of Erised. Never! And also things like the chessboard, the Quidditch match. I really feel you can do a lot with those first two films, as that's where most of the world building takes place to get the audience caught up with this world of Harry Potter. But back to the books, it's nice to see them encapsulate just one scene from these films, even though you included the wrong minifigure for the set, and really put effort into the minifigs. We're going to take a look at the Gryffindor book, as this is the only one that I bought, and I'll tell you why later. So you get 3 minifigures with most of these books, and with this set you get Ron, Hermione, and a McGonagall figure. Now the Ron and Hermione figure are unfortunately very standard minifigures. The only thing that's new on these from other Philosopher's Stone or Chamber of Secrets sets is that they have a Gryffindor crest on their jumper, which unfortunately seems to be the new standard, which I really hope changes back, as this crest is actually completely inaccurate to the school uniform in the films. The crest is always printed on the robes, it's never printed on the grey jumpers, so having it printed there is technically inaccurate, and unfortunately I have so many grey jumpers now that I just wish that they don't put this on future sets, as they have kind of made a standard for themselves, and changing it now, especially when we're about to get a lot more houses, it seems. So I hope this is a one-time thing just for this book line, and again, I'll talk more about that in a minute. And we don't get it for future expansions of Hogwarts, these minifigures with the crests on. I really don't think we need that. As for the McGonagall minifigure, however, it's so unbelievably perfect. It really captured Maggie Smith's look with this minifigure. We've had 2 other figures of McGonagall in this modern wave of Harry Potter, one coming in the Advent calendar and one coming in the Great Hall. Now these are okay minifigures, but they are just not on the same level of quality as this one, with the dual molded hair hat combo, as well as that printed skirt piece. And it goes to show that LEGO have really learnt how to do Harry Potter characters properly. If you take a look at that first Advent calendar, obviously we had this McGonagall and now she looks like this, and we had this Dumbledore and now he looks like this. The level of quality has always been relatively good for Harry Potter, and like I say, you can see where LEGO has clearly noticed where they've gone wrong and are inaccurate, and they've fixed it. But now unfortunately I'm going to talk about the set as a whole. Yeah, this set is a 30 quid set, and there is no denying that that is a fairly decent price for what you're getting. But the main thing I'm really confused about is who this set was actually designed for. A lot of these Harry Potter sets have been in that really sweet bracket of nice and affordable so parents can buy it for their kids, but also the collectors and the older generation of Harry Potter can also appreciate the sets and actually get a decent quality set out of it. For example, take a look at Hagrid's Hut, the Night Bus, and the Hogwarts Express. 3 very fairly priced sets, but also at the level of quality where collectors like myself and many others in the LEGO community will enjoy those sets as well. But that's where I get confused about these new books. I don't really understand who they're designed for. Are they designed for the kids, so they can take these little LEGO sets out and about with them and still have all the accessories to play because they all fold up into the one book? But if they are for kids, why don't they include minifigures like they do in the Disney series? Instead they give us really detailed and really nice looking minifigures as if it's designed with the collector in mind. I don't really think that they're designed for the display fans, because obviously when the books are closed and lined up, yeah, they look cool, but if you only have 1 or 2, then that's not really a good display option. you can't really display it as a classroom along with your other sets because they're not designed to connect with those sets because they are off in their own little world. Again, I kind of feel like that a lot of people don't buy these sets because they don't connect to their existing and expanding Hogwarts castle. But then at the same time, they provide these really, really nice minifigures in these sets, like McGonagall, the new Flitwick, and the Herbology classroom torsos. So it's a bit strange that they provide these minifigures in a take along with you kind of set. Now obviously there are the exceptions of people will just want both of these for display and playability, but at the same time I'm trying to think about who LEGO designed this for, not the exception. Which is a shame, because it's a good concept, but I just don't feel like it might have been done in the right way. Now, if they're only planning on doing 4 of these, that makes it slightly better, but if this is the new sort of standard for Harry Potter sets, which I don't think that it is, it just seems to come out of very left field to release something so different from the stuff you're already releasing. Now, like I say, I think these books are just a one-off, here are some decent minifigures, here are the cool Hogwarts crests on a book, and be done with it. But you gotta also think that this is 120 quid if you're buying all of the books. To me, I'm just not sure whether that's worth my money. This is why I've only bought the one book, and this was to just test, and I must say that the book is a lot smaller than I thought. Granted, I wasn't expecting a full-on sized book, like A4, but at the same time, it makes it look a lot bigger on the box than the set actually is. And it's a strange one, because I do kind of like the set, but at the same time I don't know if it's worth it. So this is one of those times where I leave it sort of to you guys. Comment below whether you think these sets are actually decent, or whether they're worth the money, or whether you're just going to do what I'm going to do and buy the minifigures all off of Bricklink. I personally think that a lot of these minifigures are going to remain exclusive to these books. These little shielded, crested jumpers, I think they might be a callback to their old prints for the jumpers in older Harry Potter sets, and they're not going to be the new norm. I also think that some of these minifigures like the McGonagall and the Flitwick might be the only time we actually see these minifigures. Another disappointing factor about these books is the only printed item is that front cover, as well as that printed 1x2 tile in the book depicting the Transfiguration spell. The rest is all stickers, so it's not like you can exactly buy the books, keep the minifigures, and just part out the sets and get a decent return. I'm really unsure how I feel about these books. I don't honestly think I'll be buying the rest of them. I'm just going to be getting the figures off of Bricklink whilst they're cheap, because I reckon as soon as these retire, they ain't coming back. You know, as long as they don't stick it in an advent calendar. If you know, you know. But that's my overall opinions on this Gryffindor book and pretty much the rest of the books. Don't expect an is it worth my fucking money on all of these books, because I just genuinely don't think I'll be buying them. Also, remember that this is just my opinion, so if I see you bitching in the comments about how you think these are the best thing out of the Harry Potter wave and should definitely do more, I don't care. But please let me know what you think of these books. I'd be really interested to see whether you guys like them, whether you think they're worth the $27.99 they are retail, and primarily what you guys think of the build rather than the minifigures. I think everybody can agree that the minifigures are awesome in these books. It's that time of the month again where we go through some of the Discord submissions for the competition and I pick a winner. This month we were building brickheads, and here are the top 3 submissions. One is from Gleph. He has made a warrior from Realm of the Mad God. If I'm honest, I don't play the game, so I don't know the significance to his character, but it's a cool build nonetheless. The next one is done by Empire. Now this guy has made a Stan Lee brickheads, which I think looks really good. I especially like the printed tile on the torso to make it look like he's got a button-up shirt, very reminiscent of what actual brickheads do. I really like this one. And then finally we've got a cool Obi-Wan and Anakin. Now I don't think any of this is printed, but I really like what they've done with the builds here. I genuinely think they look really, really accurate to how they do in the Clone Wars, and therefore I'm picking this one as my favorite and the winner. But that's everything, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure they're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure that if you want to become a member on this channel, that you are hitting the join button. Remember, tier 2s and 3s get their names featured in the intro cinematics, as well as some cool other perks. If you want to be part of the Discord competitions, again, this week we are doing a Minecraft Micro Worlds one that attaches to the original ideas set. If you want to be part of that and get your build featured on a video, go ahead and look at the Discord link below, join that, and go to the competition submit. But thanks guys so much for watching this video. I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Goodbye.